Hi Leute und willkommen zurück zu The Outer Worlds. Wir haben im letzten Part so einiges herausgefunden, was hier wirklich gespielt wird. Wie immer haben die Konzerne wieder vor, irgendwas anzustellen mit ihren Mitarbeitern. Und bei uns wurde eingebrochen in unsere Suite. Wir haben ein Maskottchen kennengelernt, das wahrscheinlich wegen uns gestorben ist. Und das Maskottchen hatte vor, sich mit irgendjemandem zu treffen. Und ich nehme an, jetzt treffen wir denjenigen. In der Verkleidung des Maskottchens. Wir sollen runter, genau. Irgendwo stand das? Genau. Maskottchen in der Kantine des Raumhafens. Also der hatte ja für seinen Auftraggeber unsere Bude durchsucht.
Smile, damn you!
Pollutant purified.
No, I just wanted to make you smile.
Und jetzt... Was denn?
Never felt so
Cleaning cycle complete.
smile.
Mann. Zwingt mich nicht, die beiden wieder auf aggressiv zu stellen. Einfach nein. Mal gucken, ob wir seinen Auftraggeber denn jetzt finden.
Inspector, good to see you. Let me just grant you access and... Welcome to the Piraeus Spaceport.
Wir hatten auch noch jetzt eine andere Aufgabe bekommen, als wir mit dem anderen Typen oben in unserer Suite da auch am Computer geredet haben, dass wir nochmal zum Doc gehen sollen, der sich die Leiche nochmal genauer angeschaut hat. Das werden wir natürlich auch noch machen. Ich meine, die Locations sind halt schon immer echt geil, die sie zusammenbasteln. Aber wie kommen Leute da drauf, sich Asteroiden, die sich innerhalb von der so einer Planetenatmosphäre zu befinden, mit Stahlseilen festzumachen an irgendwelchen Düsen und darauf irgendwelche Plantagen, Obstanlagen, Dings zu bauen, um irgendwelchen Alkohol herzustellen, der süchtig macht. Wer sich das wieder ausgedacht hat. Okay, einmal
Customer,
für Loot.
something's
Hey, you! We've been looking for you, and by we, I mean Slug. Been real busy sniffing around Eridanos for clues, haven't you, Inspector? See, Sluglight Underground don't like that much.
If you had anything to do with Sublight, you'd have started shooting about 12 words ago.
Should have kept your nose where it belonged, Inspector. Slug's sick of all your meddling in their affairs. Our affairs, I mean. We're... Draw, you damn breadworm, draw!
Ja, komm.
Well, you ain't gonna stick that nose anywhere ever again. Regret? Regret? I regret nothing! You're going down!
caution. Infestation encroaching.
Nice hit, nice hit. That's the last of them.
Ich habe sie gewarnt? Mordauftrag. Hab hier einen Job für jemanden mit einer flinken Waffe und deren Taschen. 40.000, also so viel hätte ich ihm auch geben können. Glaube ich. Ja, ich habe 45. Das ist, du hättest das Geld von mir nehmen sollen. Selber schuld. So. Aber das war nicht den, die wir... Beziehungsweise das Maskottchen treffen sollte, nehme ich mal an.
Unclean counters, unswept floor, unhygienic vendor. This is unacceptable.
Hello. Welcome to Eridanos Dry Goods and Sundry, the most standard and unremarkable general store this side of Halcyon. I'm marketeer Joseph Dempsey, here to make your shopping experience as pleasant and normal as possible.
Danke. Endlich mal kein Verrückter. Was gibt's dann hier Schönes? Revolver MK3, leicht Pistole. Aha. Da aber Wächtersäbel, okay. Outfits. Sturmgewehr. Das nehmen wir mit. Okay. Das heißt hinten einmal runter. Sehr aufmerksam.
Hey, you. I got something I need to speak with you about. Hey there. Word around the spaceport is that you came in on the Unreliable. You a new crewmate? I see. Well, this would have been easier with Hawthorne, but I hope that if you're flying his ship, it means you're a freelancer too. Wonder if you can help me. I run an outfit for the moving of, less than legal goods. There's a particular piece of cargo needs delivering to a particular individual in the spaceport. Thing is, I don't know where the cargo is right now. The crewmate who handles that is in the clink for getting a little too disorderly in town. We've already attracted too much attention. Too risky to visit her myself. That's where you come in. You help us out, I'll give you an equal cut of our pay. Great to hear. First, you need to go meet the crewmate who got herself jailed. Cassidy Mills is the name. She'll know where the cargo is. Be seeing ya. Remember, Cassidy's at the constabulary. She might be a little wary, so be careful.
Okay, wir haben aus Zeitmischen abgegriffen gerade. Da unten. Okay. Lass mal das hier erst fertig. Was hast du auf? Bist du bei den 7 Zwergen abgehauen?
What do you want? Shh, not so loud. How'd you know it was me? That's what the disguise is for. I'm in no mood to sign autographs, and I hate disappointing fans. So I'm lying low. You know, incompleto. Oh, yeah, I guess it's kinda neato. Oh, what's it matter? Helen's gone. She's gone and nothing I do will bring her back. I've been trying to find who did this. That's what she would do. Track down the killer and bring them to justice. But I'm stumped. And not very clever. Being bright was always Helen's thing. Oh, so you're the inspector! Hope you have more luck figuring things out than me. You probably want to ask me some questions, huh? I'm sure you're asking everybody questions, so you can find Helen's killer. So, how do I help? I was getting blotto with the rest of the Rangers. You know, soaked, muddled, preserved.
Blutered, half shot, void lush, on the Byzantine swizzle. Starry. 1 bit down, 3 bits up, spread across the spectrum. Top heavy. Should I go on?
The team noticed I was in a bad way when I got back to the hotel. When I told them Helen and I were Splitsville, they wanted to cheer me up. We were up the pole afore evening. The hotel staff said we was bothering the other guests on account of all the crying and yelling and practice body tackling. Zeke said we should move elsewhere, get some air. We ended up at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. I think somebody wanted to pet a woolly cow? There was this one cow off away from the others. Zeke figured it'd be a laugh to get her drunk. One thing led to another, and I think we might have maybe, you know, stolen her. I don't know. We were drunk, and we made bad choices. She was all alone. I know how that feels now. It's so hard to be all by your lonesome. My memory's a little muddled after that. I guess me and the team got split up, 'cause I know I was on my own at the pilot house for a time. I reckon not. See, I went to the weather station. I was looking for where Helen stashed her datapad for safekeeping, right? She'd asked me to get it, mind. I wasn't stealing. I'm no thief. Sure did. Only there was a guard out there who found me. She started yelling about how I was trespassing and in serious trouble. Thing is, it was real dark out there. So dark, she couldn't tell who I was. Real sure. It was dark as night gets. Plus, I've got small veins. Anyway, I didn't much feel like trying to explain why I was out there, or why I was drunk, and holding someone else's datapad, and also maybe crying a little, so I booked it. Ran like the Rangers were down by 3, and I just bronzed the toss ball in the Friday zone. I didn't know where I was going, but my legs took me straight to my friend's... to my... fridge-rator. I don't want to tell you. I'll get in trouble. Look, I talked to Auric, okay? Auric West. Hangs out around the spaceport. He's the one who taught me the breathing exercises I use to calm down. That sounds like a good idea. So now you have the whole story. After I talked to Auric, I went back to the hotel. Woke up the next morning with Helen's datapad in my hand and the hangover to end all hangovers. Don't know if I'll ever drink again. Oh, yeah, you'll probably want to... Yeah, of course. Of course. Helen sure did have the prettiest handwriting. Here. Take it. Either she was writing in code or I'm dumber than a bag of hammers. I tried for hours to crack her notes, but it's like I said. Being bright was Helen's thing. Okay. And listen, I want to help you find her killer, Inspector. I knew Helen better than anybody. And it could be handy to have a guy like me around, in case anybody gives you trouble.
You know Canids run in packs, right? They desperately need one another. A lone Canid is a weak and pitiful creature.
I get it. I'll head back to the Grand Colonial then. Unless you need me for anything else?
Wenn wir den auch gleich irgendwo tot finden, ne? Uff. Okay. Für dich können wir was machen mit dich. Wir müssen dem anderen jetzt Bescheid
If your
sagen.
registered SAM unit does not wake after entering rest mode in a substandard lodging rental
Den hier
facility,
befragen.
consult Manual 72-HB3.
Hey there. You looking to unwind, friend? Maybe you're on your way to the bar for a good time? Maybe you're interested in something a little better than beer or Adreno? Something with a little more kick? The name's Auric. I deal in, shall we say, holistic pharmaceuticals, natural substances and the like. You know, alternative stuff. I know. Ooh, it came out of the ground. That's where worms live. I get it. I do. Why go for that homegrown shit when you could be pumping your body full of effort accelerators? Says it right on the Anti-Cleo's box. Better than nature, right? Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, pal. Those pharmaceuticals the corporations manufacture, not all of them are as good for you as the board wants you to believe. Alternatives. That's the way to go, pal. Trust me. No matter what ails you, I got what you need. Wait, you ain't a sheriff, right? You gotta tell me if you're a sheriff. I'll be honest, I don't really know where that puts us. All right, fine. Yeah, I know Birdie. So what? Yeah, that was me. Birdie's got a temper, but he's not a bad kid, you know? He's trying to work on it. Yeah. Damn shame about that. Birdie thought the world of Helen, you know. He showed up drunk at my place wanting to talk about the breakup. Helen dumped him, he said. Boy, was he in a bad way. I'd never seen him like that before. We talked for a while, and when he felt better, I sent him back to the hotel. Told him to drink more water and get some sleep. He may or may not buy alternatives from me from time to time. A little diluted mantis or essence here, a little vitamin B negative there. Nah. What Birdie's got is a stress problem. He's stressed out of his mind, the poor guy. Everyone knows his name. Can't turn around without having to sign an autograph. And then you throw in playing tossed ball for a living. Violence like that, it does things to a body. It does things to the head.
Okay, dann hätten wir das auch. Ich würde hier gerne ein bisschen plündern. Ich habe aber Angst, dass dann jemand auf mich schießt. Das heißt, wir sagen wieder Bescheid, dass wir ein bisschen mehr herausgefunden haben, auch wenn ich nicht glaube, dass das gut ist, dass wir jedes Mal Bescheid sagen. Jetzt müssen wir gucken. Können wir... Ja. Können wir hier drüber machen.
Inspector?
I'm pleased to hear that. Bertie Holcomb is a valuable asset to the Rizzo's Rangers property. When Helen was murdered, Bertie was nowhere to be found. The timing of his disappearance is unfortunate. Try not to feel too bad for him. Bertie is a brilliant athlete. The universe has balanced his talent by making him a slackwit. I don't understand what it was that Helen saw in Bertie. Whatever it was, she seemed to trust him implicitly. He was always on his best behavior around her. Or he tried. I'm not a heartless man, Inspector. I know that losing Helen must have shaken Bertie to his core. Be plain with me, Inspector. Do you believe Black Hole Bertie killed Helen? I'm relieved to hear that. I happen to be something of a fan of the hack attack. I'd hate to see him processed for murder, but we need to be absolutely sure. I'd like you to continue your investigation. Notify me as soon as you're ready to make a formal accusation. I appreciate that. I'd rather keep Bertie within the public eye than let him languish in a bar at the docks. If you're through investigating Bertie, I recommend looking into Cedric Kincannon. He's been entirely too comfortable since we began this investigation. I don't trust Cedric when he's comfortable.
Der ist doch gleich tot, oder? So, was machen wir jetzt höher? Ich würde eigentlich gerne... das. Der wird doch jetzt gleich wegsterben, nachdem wir dem Typen hier Bescheid gesagt haben. Warum lädt diese Karte so komisch? Da ist nichts weiter angezeigt. Wir gehen jetzt zuerst Doktor.
What floor would you like to visit?
Ich hätte auf die SSD installieren sollen. Hä? Jetzt geht doch wieder. Das Spiel verarscht mich gerade. Ach, es ist.
The brochure never
Das habt ihr nicht
mentioned
gesehen.
anything about Waspito.
Inspector, not a moment too soon. I've just finished my autopsy report.
Ich habe mir extra Zeit gelassen, damit sie das noch rechtzeitig schaffen.
Ruth Bellamy was killed by plasma damage to the upper vertebrae, the occipital bone, and the cerebellum. If it's any consolation, her death was instantaneous and painless. I've also discovered a poisonous compound in Miss Bellamy's stomach lining ingested during her last meal. Toxic, but not enough to kill her. Spencer Woolrich complained of a stomach ailment around the same time period. I assumed he was being, you know, Spencer. But now I'm not so sure. Oh, most certainly. Well, possibly they were trying to make her extremely uncomfortable, but I suppose killing her would also satisfy that criterion.
Moment, man hat ihr Essen vergiftet, damit ihr schlecht wird oder sie Bauchschmerzen hat, damit sie zurückrennt, damit sie im Hotel getötet werden kann?
The thought occurred to me. I tested this hypothesis by vacating the contents of my stomach and testing for the presence of the same toxin. Slightly elevated levels of mercury and an alarming amount of blue food coloring. But other than that, no. I'm certain it wasn't, as you put it, just the hotel food. Oh, how curious. I do believe you're right. I wonder if this has something to do with the autopsy process. She was Halcyon Helen up until the moment I brought her to the operating table. But as soon as I cut her open, I stopped thinking of her as Halcyon Helen. It's almost as if she stopped being an icon and became a human being. I had a feeling you'd understand. Inspector.
Toll, jetzt hat sie mir nicht mehr gesagt, wer dieser andere war, der auch Magenprobleme hatte. Oder wird mir das automatisch gezeigt? Spencer Woolrich. Okay, ja, doch, wird automatisch gezeigt. Au!
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly welcomes you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to see you again. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector?
Wir brauchen Zugang.
I'd love to, Inspector, but I don't really have the authority. Moreover, the guests were promised exclusivity. If I let you up there, I'll never hear the end of it. That's a good point. If they give me guff, I can just tell them that they're obstructing justice. That has a nice ring to it. Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Done. You can now come and go as you please.
Ja. Easy.
What floor would you like to visit? If you see Black Hole Birdie, be sure to get an autograph for me. Just joking. I've already got one.
Fancy. Übertrieben. Aber ja, kann man nehmen. Boah, der hat sogar... Warum habe ich keine Schokolade auf dem Bett? Entschuldigen Sie.
About time you arrived. I see you haven't dressed the way I asked you to, but I suppose that was expecting too much of a non-industry lout. Expect a complaint to management. Now, unless you'd like to waste more of my time, I suggest we begin rehearsing. Ready? You've fallen right into my trap, Captain. Oh, don't bother to fight back. You cannot hope to stop me from installing philosophism as the system's reigning ideology.
Ja, er übt nur gerade irgendwie so einen Text.
How does the scenery taste? Good, I trust. Wait a moment. You're not wearing a bellhop's ID, which must mean you're not Owen's understudy. That man can't even be relied upon to find his own replacement. Oh, no, this is curious indeed. Who are you, and how did you get in here? What a quaint claim. You're so adorable. I won't even call security. No, really, I mean it. You've most certainly endeared yourself to me, and I think I know why you're here. Now, what shall I sign first? Your weapon? Your wallet? Or perhaps something a little more personal? Undergarment signatures have been popular of late, or so I've heard. Do you mean to say you're not a fan? Well, then how did you get in here? The only staffer cleared for guest room entry is the inspector for Bellamy's murder. Oh. Oh! Hello. Hi. Terribly sorry, Inspector. I didn't realize it was you. Understand that I am beyond willing to comply with your search for the fiend that did Bellamy in. You know, now that I look at you, you're the perfect reflection of me, back when I starred in The Marauder's Bane. The absolute picture of justice. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer. Indeed. The agonizing bowel pain was most undignifying. While I've certainly had no shortage of inadequate hotel meals, this was most explicitly pronounced. I suspect poison. And who would be most likely to poison me but Chef Anwar? Oh, we've clashed almost non-stop about his slop preparation. He must have tainted my meal in retaliation. None that I can think of. I treat all hotel staff equally, and with the minimum level of respect that they deserve. Is that a jibe? Could you imagine the tabloid headlines? Spencer Woolrich, Aetherwave star, spotted in gastronomic distress. Oh, unseemly hardly describes the half of it. How alarming! Whoever targeted her was certainly targeting me. I can only thank my ironclad constitution that I'm standing here before you. Oh, that's very good to know. Perhaps the poisoner simply meant to incapacitate us both, disrupt the product launch. I couldn't say, Inspector. I'm merely an actor. Very well, then.
Okay. Ich habe ihm gesagt, dass ich ein Plünderer bin, deshalb nehme ich jetzt auch hier Sachen mit.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Warum hast du das nicht gesagt, als ich in den Raum gekommen bin?
Discrepancy detected. This bottle, recently discarded, contains residue from foreign substances. Chemical analysis complete. This unit has detected the following substances: oil, terrore, blood, terrore, unidentifiable biological fluids, terrore.
A lot of folk use their blood for seasoning on account of its sweetness. Don't try and use its innards, though. Only thing that can digest taro meat is a raptidon.
Yes, Inspector. Logical analysis indicates these substances were not present in the bottle's original contents. These substances cause extreme gastrointestinal distress in humans. Large doses can be fatal. This bottle contained Rizzo's Spectrum vodka. The presence of terrore biological fluids may have significantly improved its flavor.
Nein. Also der Wodka ist so schlecht, dass man den mit irgendwelchen Flüssigkeiten, die wir hier nicht näher benennen wollen, besser schmeckt, ja. Können wir ihm sagen, dass seine Bottle vergiftet ist?
Please, can't you see my heart is bursting at the seams? I absolutely must go out. Ask me anything at all.
Nö, man kann es ihm nicht sagen. Okay, trink weiter, Jung. Dann suchen wir den Koch, nehme ich an. Das machen wir dann im nächsten Part. Ciao, Leute.